And today I have the pleasure of facilitating a panel discussion with advocates, disability rights individuals from the disability community that take public transportation or used to take public transportation or paratransit.
The reason I am coming is to try to find out a ways to get more people in the community out and be active.
And I am here because I want to shift this paradigm for folks like ourselves to gain the access to be able to get around and have our true independence to live our life to the fullest.
One of my passions is working with professionals with disabilities.
My goal is to share my 30-year of experience of being a wheelchair user.
I want to talk about the challenges that you all see.
The challenges that I find is the timing.
Always such a difficult thing where you'd have to schedule multiple rides sometimes just to make sure you weren't left behind.
Just having to plan ahead. I don't know about you guys, but everything happens for me at a moment's notice or within a few hours, and not being able to rely on a service makes it a real challenge with the current system because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Everyone will be in our situation someday. And my question to those people, how do you want to be treated? Do you want your rights stripped away? Do you want to face these barriers just because you age into your disability? Because that's what's going to happen if we don't change the system now.
20% of the population has a disability and 80% of the population will become disabled. So it's a service that will only be required more. I mean, disability benefits benefit everybody.
The fact that just because you're able-bodied, you can call a ride in 5 minutes and it comes to you.
Oh, yeah.
That never happens for people with disabilities.
We have to get people to understand us as individuals, that this is real life for us. I mean, we cannot protect ourselves, we cannot defend ourselves as other people.
I've had to tell a driver once, that like, listen, I'm not a box. I am a human being. So like, if you want to deliver boxes, UPS is hiring. But like, I am a person, and you need to treat me as such.
One of the things that we really need to do is really emphasize on looking through the equity lens when we're thinking about transportation for people with disabilities, especially in the workforce. As people with disabilities, we are seen as people that stay home and that maybe watch TV all day, and they don't really need to go there. Or they can stay home, or they can go another day. And so one of the things that I feel that is really a big obstacle is the share riding aspect when you have to go somewhere. When the share rides, they'll pick you up within 20 minutes of the time that you scheduled, right? That's something that they've been really good at lately. After they pick you up in that 20 minutes, it could be 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours until you get to your destination. And if in that time you have to use the restroom, God forbid, we want everybody to be able to get to where they need to get to on time. Or you don't want to be that person at work that always comes in late. As a person with a disability, we all try very hard to not be that person. But when transportation is the main cause, it's really, really difficult.
These transportation are not just medical, it's not just to your doctors or to a rehab facility, but it's actually like I travel a lot, so I come into LAX and things have changed a lot to get access. Why is it that I can fly to Las Vegas and within a second I can get an accessible taxi? But here in Los Angeles, which is supposed to be the most accessible place for us, it's so difficult.
It's about how can we ensure everything is on a level playing field. We have to have a seat at the table. It's amazing how people who are making these decisions have no idea what it's like to be us. If we don't get dropped off, we gotta get another way home. It's dangerous for us.
Yeah.
There's no curb cutouts. We are driving in the streets.
What are some innovations and approaches that these systems can take to make our lives better?
I would say leveraging AI. If that technology is leveraged the correct way, it can be a game changer for all of us. You won't have the human element of a driver saying, "Oh, I'm not going to go into that neighborhood because I'm afraid for my life." Technology just does what it's programmed to do.
I've been in places where I've had to have my able-bodied friends in New York and in LA stand for my Uber, right? Because I know they'll leave me. They'll see me and they'll just leave me because they'll assume there's no way for me to pick this person up, or I just don't want to do it. Disability advocates, transportation companies, people, how can we work together and collaborate and create that paradigm shift that Angela was talking about?
Let's get someone who's making the policy and all that, get in a chair. Let's try everything out.
Or outsource to somebody with a disability that is like, you hire a consultant that has the actual thing.
Once we get them and then they see from our perspective, and then let's go ahead and do the whole role play. Let's go ahead and call up Butterfli through the app or through the telephone, all the options that you have. And let's see, how long does it take to get a phone call or speak to someone? How long does it take to actually get an email to get a confirmation? Do we get a confirmation?
Without transportation, you can't be employed.
We also need to dream big. I wish that we wouldn't have to think and pray and hope that there would be accessible transportation or accessible vehicles, but that all vehicles were accessible. Mothers with strollers would be like, oh, when I call them, they're gonna have a space for my stroller. Or, elderly people, oh, I can use this because I can actually use the ramp to get on, So that's what I'm hoping. I know we're far away from that, but that's why it's so important.
Universal design.
Yes, that's you took the words right out of my mind. That's why it's so important to really be intentional about universal design.
If you're gonna design, you bring that design for all, that equity lens and the people to the table right away, because we all know disability can happen to anyone at any moment in any time. You're gonna age into it, or you're gonna become disabled through an accident. And so anybody needs these services. And we're tired of the system looking at us as others, right? That's another problem I have to deal with. That's another issue on the table. We are not the other. We are you, but you don't see it like that because you're able to walk today.
The same exact thing that you're receiving as an able-bodied individual, we should have that too.
The social impact of transportation is something that we can never downplay. I remember when I first got injured, I was just in the house all day. It wasn't until I was able to have transportation that the whole new world just opened up for me. Being able to see that I can be a productive member of society, I can have a career, I can have relationships. So when it comes to transportation, if you build for us, you know it's going to be inclusive for everyone.
Transportation, to me, is freedom. I'm free to go where I want to go, when I want to go. If you're stuck, you get depressed. Being able to go out later on in the evening and get home and go to the after party. Everybody wants to go have a good time.
Transportation for me is so very important, not only professionally to be able to get to where you have to be at professionally, but also socially. Spending time with family and not being a burden to family. I know that our family doesn't think of us as being a burden, but we don't want that feeling on them, Transportation is so important to be able to live a healthy, sustainable life.
And also collaborate with the vehicle companies. God, I wish I had an app that would just tell me where all the handicap spots were in the neighborhood.
Los Angeles is one of the richest cities in the country, right? And it's not that we don't have the money. It's where we want to spend the money. Los Angeles has the opportunity to really push that needle because we have the money, right? Systems have the money. It's their decision to want to spend that money in the right places. It's the equitable thing to do, not for us, for everyone. So I want to thank everyone for coming. This is just the beginning of our conversations, and I'm sure we'll be back at this table again.
I just want to say that I think Butterfli feels even more encouraged than we did yesterday. Our partnership with Metro, with Ann, Peter, and Adam, is so very important because I don't think that anybody's ever done anything like this before. And as Andy helped us develop our catchphrase, freedom leading to independence, and that's something that is near and dear to us. So thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Well, when I have to take Richard somewhere, it's usually the whole day. So something that would be reliable and something that he could drive on his own would open my time up so that I can take care of the groceries, take care of the errands, have time to myself. It would give me rest, which would make me a better caregiver because I'm his sole caregiver. So I'm doing everything. So the more time I have, the more time we can have together where we're not doing errands. We can have our personal time.
Reliable accessibility in transportation would be huge. We right now currently have a accessible van for that reason. We were never able to get places on time or maybe not get picked up or all those different things were happening. But they're very expensive and it's time for a new one, but that may not always be a doable thing. So to know something like this is in the works is huge because we know that that's something that we can rely on and have the dependability that we really would need, whether it's a doctor's appointment or just going out to eat, whatever it may be, that we'll be able to have access to something like that.
We have a large family, and we have a lot of events in our family, little get-togethers, and for us, going to go pick her up to her place, sometimes it's a drive, and if she lets us know, oh, don't worry about it, I'll make a ride, I'll get a ride to the house. So for us, it's a big help. We could be doing something else, preparing something else. And her getting there by herself independently, that I feel that it makes her more confident. Our family also gets very happy to see that there is a service out there that could help us out. Not everybody has the time to help her out, to go pick her up, to take her to different places. I'm the one that usually has to be driving her around, and sometimes it gets a little complicated, but having this service, it just makes our lives easier, a lot easier.
The experiences that are shared by community members and the members of the panel, they need to be heard by everybody.
We appreciate you being here, and I know that this is helping move the needle forward for everyone. So thank you to you and Metro for allowing us to have this. It's really great.